Two of them. Look at these guys. Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at the latest from Olight. This is the Warrior Mini 2. So this is the latest in their Warrior series of lights. They have a lot of different lights out in the Warrior line, and this one's got some new and different features. You'll see that ring there on the basically the base of the light. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let me give you the rundown of some of the details so you can know about the outputs and the burn times, and then obviously we'll take it out to the night and test it out. All right, we have 5 different levels of output. We have a moonlight setting, which is 1 lumen. That's going to run for 45 days. A low setting, that's 15 lumens for 164 hours. We have a medium, which is 120 lumens. That's for 19 hours. We have a high, that's 500 lumens, and that's going to run for 218 minutes. Then it's going to drop down to 200 for 55 minutes. And then you have a turbo, and there's basically three drop downs. So it starts at 1750 for 4 minutes, drops down to 500 for 206 minutes, and then drops down to 200 lumens for 40 minutes. It is IPX rated, so it's good down to 2 meters for underwater, and it is drop resistant to 1.5 meters. As far as your size, your length is 4.65 inches. That's 118 millimeters. It is 0.98 inches as far as your bezel diameter. That's 25 millimeters. And the weight, including the battery, is 4.3 ounces. So pretty light for a compact light that you can definitely EDC. And it's going to be giving you, like I said, 1,750 lumens at the highest output. Here's a look at everything you get with the light. So you're going to get, obviously, the flashlight. You're going to get it with the battery included. That's an 18650 battery. I'll show you that in 1 second. You're also going to get this ring on the bottom. I'll talk about that in a minute. You get the lanyard, and you also get the instruction manual and then a charging cord as well. These charging cords are pretty standard for Olight as far as they function basically by plugging that end into your USB. You can plug it into a plug adapter, and then this end here is magnetic, and that's going to attach there. Now, I will note here that you do have a metal pressure switch, which, because it's metal, the magnetic charger can attach to that as well. Let me show you the light end to end here, give you some close-ups. You can see, here's your bezel. A little bit more aggressive kind of on the inside. It's interesting because it's kind of smooth toward the top on one side, and then a little bit more aggressive like on the inside of the bezel. There you can see your LED down inside. You got your pocket clip. The original Olight's basically this cutout went the whole way around, but now it's on one side and the button is on the other side. So you do have a selector switch there as well as a pressure switch down here. You do have the switchback is what I call it on the, I don't know if that's the official name, but that's what I call it on the pocket clip. So you can put it on the hat, your end pressure switch. You do have this thing, which you can swing around anywhere on the light if you want to. And then you've got this, this ring, and then there's your end pressure switch. Let me take the battery out to show that to you. So like I said, this is going to be an 18650 battery from Olight, 3500 milliamp and 3.6 volts. All right, let's talk through the function here. So as is standard with a lot of Olights, if you hold down on the side switch, it's going to come on at the moonlight setting, and then hold it down. Table's shaking here a little bit, but hold it down. It's going to cycle up low, medium, high, low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Turn it off. Now, if you double click, it's going to go to the turbo setting. So that's the turbo setting. The camera starts to kind of dim down, but I want to show you here. So it's at the turbo setting. When I get close to the table, it's going to actually drop down the output. And you can see that actually went down there. Then when it back up, it goes up. So it drops it down, and that's basically just this photosensitive, there's a photo sensor that basically is going to say when it gets close, it doesn't want it to overheat, so it's going to drop down the output. So that's your side switch. If you double click, it'll go directly to the turbo, and then if you triple click, it'll go to strobe. So strobe warning, 1, 2, 3. There's your strobe. With your end pressure switch, you can press it lightly in, and it'll come on. And then if you press it in harder, it'll go up to the higher setting. So those are your outputs with the end pressure switch. Now what you can also do is you can basically tap in lightly. It'll lock in at the lower output like that. Tap it again, it's going to go off. And then basically tap it in harder and it'll go to the higher setting and lock in, and then tap it again, it'll go off. And then obviously if you want to just lightly press the end pressure switch, it'll go on and then off, on and then off. So you've got that as an option as well. So once you click it on with the end pressure switch and then you start pressing this side pressure switch, it'll start functioning based on the side pressure switch. You can see the green there. That means that our charging level is good. Speaking of this little light here, hold it down for 2 seconds. It'll come on at moonlight, and then keep holding it and it'll go to lockout mode. So moonlight, lockout. And now this, if you touch it, will come back and it'll be red, basically saying it's locked out so you can't accidentally turn it on. Hold it down again for 2 seconds. It'll unlock and come on at moonlight. And now you can operate the light the way you were operating it before. So again, low, medium, high, turn it off, and you can use the end pressure switch as well. All right, so let's talk about this ring real quick. You can see the way I've been running it is I put my hand through here and then it basically falls into my hand like this. So I can use the light, I can turn it on, I can turn it off, and then if I want it basically out of the way, I can just swing it around, and now I've got my hands to operate if I want to pick up this box. I still have the light, with me, but I can drop this, swing it around again, and then turn it on. So let me back the camera up a little bit. So again, just to show you, turn it on, using it, turn it off, maybe swing that out of the way, and then I'm just going to basically swing it around. It's going to fall back into my hand, and now I've got the light again to turn it on and turn it off. You basically have 2 different program settings for the end pressure switch. So currently this is set up, let me put my finger in the ring here just to hold it a little bit more easily. Where I press it, it's going to come on medium and then go up to the turbo. So medium, turbo, right? Now if I hold down the end pressure switch and press the side button, it's going to go to a different program option where it's going to be turbo and strobe. Turbo with the half press and strobe with the full press. So strobe is going to pop on here in a second, so just strobe warning. So press it, press the side, let go. Now it's set up so it's going to go turbo, and then here comes strobe when it's fully depressed. If I want to switch it back, again, press the end pressure switch and then press the side switch. So strobe warning. Now it's the other setting. So here's medium, turbo, switch it again, press the end, press the side. Now it's going to be in turbo and then strobe, so strobe warning. So that's the other setup that you can, other program you can run this with for the end pressure switch. So that's a rundown of the overall light and some of the details as far as your outputs and your overall function. Let's take this thing out into the night and use it. One thing to note real quick is that some people see a ring like this and they're like, oh, now it's for, operating a weapon or something like that. This is not a replacement of like a Theorem switchback, which is a great product. I don't know if they make it for this size light, but the Theorem is basically built so that you can have your weapon in your hand like this. And with the way that the Theorem switchback is built, it's kind of like this. And basically you can deploy your light just by how you angle the Theorem switchback. That's a great product. This thing is not meant to replace this or to replace that. I'm not thinking at all about having this, I'm gonna put this light on at the lower setting or something, having this light on and trying to hold a weapon at the same time. It's got no control, there's recoil, it's not aiming in the right direction. So could you deploy this with a weapon? Yeah, if you mounted it on a weapon and then had a pressure switch on the side of a rifle or something like that. But I'm not thinking, use the ring and then hold a pistol. That's just gonna be total chaos. So be careful, don't hurt yourself. Yeah, it's not built for that. Get a Theorem switchback on a flashlight if you want to set that type of system up. Okay, we're going to test this out inside real quick. I'll start at the lowest setting. So this is 1 lumen. Can't really pick a whole lot up here in the kitchen in my house, but here's my hand, so you can see it actually does work. Let's go up to 15 lumens here. That's 15 lumens looking around the kitchen. So certainly 15 is good enough to get you around the house, no problem. So let's go up to 120 now. And that's obviously, when you look at it on the camera, you can definitely see a lot more just by shining it in the middle here of the kitchen. You can see the entire area here quite well. That's 120 inside. The next settings up they're going to be obviously more light, but it's just kind of blinding once you get up to the next setting. So that's a lot there. And then let me turn this off. We'll go to the turbo. Here's the turbo. So plenty of lights to look around or see if somebody was in the house. Okay, we're outside now. We're going to be looking over at kind of the little section of my house. You're going to see the grill and on also like the roller for the front hose. So here's 120 lumens. We're looking at the kind of intersection of the house, and it's about 35 feet away. So there's 120 lumens. Let's go up to 500 here. There's 500. This is 35 feet away. And now I'll show you the 1750, which is right here, 1750. So I just came out to the side yard here. Got some skunks over here in the yard. Check them out. These guys have been fighting with each other over the last few nights. Looks like they're actually kind of agitated right now even. And we got some possums over here. See if we can find these possums. Here they are. Two of them. Look at these guys. I'm about probably 5 feet away from this guy, 6 feet away. So there's the 500 setting right here. Looking at Mr. Possum. Hey, buddy. Skunks in a battle. It's the showdown at the playground. We are here wrapping up talking about the Olight Warrior Mini 2. So first thing I want to tell you is that there was the original Warrior Mini and it says out of stock on their website. My guess is that they're not going to be producing that flashlight anymore. This is going to replace that flashlight. That one had 1500 lumens output. This one has 1750. There's more functionality on this. The ring feature, I think this is just going to basically replace that. So price point at the time of this video right now, we're looking at about 90 bucks for this. But if you're watching the video the day or the day after, or maybe even the day after that it goes live, Olight is having a flash sale and these are going to be about 20 bucks off, $22 off. You can also use the code, I think it's EDTV, I've got it down in the description section, but it's EDTV and that'll save you 10% anytime on non-sale items. But if you get this during the sale, obviously you're going to save more money. I like it. It's a solid EDC flashlight. I like this size. The original Baton 2s, which are about this big, I like those a lot as an EDC flashlight. This one offers even more functionality than the original Batons. I like an end pressure switch. I like the side selector. I like that you have multiple modes for that turbo / strobe, and then also the medium / turbo for the end pressure switch. Let me show you real quick. It's a little bit clumsy with the ring, but you know, every once in a while I'll be in a situation where it's actually nice to have something like this. I'll be, you know, doing something in the basement and like I won't want to go all the way upstairs to flick the light on because I'll come in through the back door, and so nice to have a flashlight I can just put on my head to do something in the basement. Yeah, so to pay around 90 bucks for this, again, longevity I can't speak to because I just got it, but from the overall functionality, 90 bucks for this flat, you know, at that rate, I think it's a good investment. But to get it for even, you know, 22 bucks less than that, it's a good deal. And they've got some bundle packages for the flash sale, which is also nice. Yeah, the Baton 1, or the Baton 3, I guess I should say, the smaller one about this big, that's a standard EDC flashlight for me. I use that one a lot. This one, though, I think is going to see more time in my rotation. I do like the size of the bezel there. I was checking out a night core recently, and I like the light, but the bezels, got crows flying overhead. The night core I like, but the bezel is a little bit wide for EDC. It's more of a bag light or a car light, a kit light, whereas this one I could definitely EDC. And like I said, that ring, cool, you know, boom, I'm using the light, flip it out of the way, do whatever I need to do, flip it back over, and now I got the light again. I guess there'd be two main changes I would make if I made changes to this light. First is I would love to see some sort of like rubberized something on top of the metal plate so that you could still magnetically attach the charging cord, but I just prefer like some sort of rubberized cover for that end pressure switch. That's just a preference of mine. I think it's just easier to get your purchase on there. And then the other thing is that drop down. I like the 1750. I'd be willing to have less or a lower lumen output that will burn for a longer time as opposed to a higher lumen output that's going to drop down more quickly. That's for me. So that 1750, if that went down to 13 or 1200, but it would run longer, that would be a win for me. But overall, still, the Warrior Mini 2, I've liked it. Let's hear your thoughts. What's your feedback? You've seen it in use, and let's get that conversation started in the comment section now. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.